The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all. Yes, sir. We are back in the studio, baby. Here to record another track for the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. The Paul McCartney to my John Lennon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Mark Radulich. That's me. And there's my writing partner, the Stiz Narkey. How do you do, sir?
That was beautiful. Well written. Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that was some mathcore bringing us in there. I'm glad we got that step out of the way.
Well, Jesse, we are here to do yet another track for the Radulich and Broadcasting Network album, as I said. And as per usual with anything having to do with our podcast, we start off with an idea and then I abandon it and immediately do something else. So we talked last time about we did the theme, which you just heard, and then our first track was more dinosaurs, and we told that story, and we made the song. I'm like, okay, well, next we have to do a song for Damn You Hollywood. And then I was doing an on trial for Twister with our good friend Ronnie Adams.
Yeah. And
I happened to notice that YouTube is now hitting us with a copyright infringement where we can't monetize any episode of On Trial because we were using the Night Court theme.
Uh-oh.
Despite the fact that you talked over it. Like, you did a whole intro. And it's funny. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it'll be like 3 seconds, and if they recognize it, they're like, right. Nope. Okay, sorry. That was, it's like name that tune with fucking copyright strikes, whatever.
And that's the thing. It's like, despite the fact that we altered it, you did your whole like voiceover thing. Do you remember that? So, when we started the on trial thing, Jesse was like, I started just using the Night Court theme, and Jesse's like, I want to record an intro for you. So Jesse did a whole intro, and at the time, on trial was just me and Sean. We're living in like the fucking liberal, progressive, relative world now here in the Radulich and Broadcasting Network. There is no format. There's no co-host. Just whoever the fucking shows up. I might not even do this with Jesse next time, but if Evan Bevan shows up, we're going to use some AI to make some, comic book songs.
Oh yeah.
Whatever Evan likes.
Get it done.
Yeah. So there is no. So despite the fact that Jesse had written an intro over the on trial Night Court theme, and it was like, starring Mark Radulich, and also starring Sean Comer. Well, I ain't starring nobody anymore. Like, I might not even show up to these things. So that's why we're here. So tonight, I decided that we should redo the on trial theme, and I want a whole song. And then I'm gonna just like I did with Sessions. The Sessions theme, because we did a whole song with that, right? And I cut out 30 seconds just for the theme to the podcast.
Right.
I want a whole full 4-minute on trial song.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna cut 30 seconds out of it.
We want a nice little intro somewhere that we can piece from. I got you.
Yeah. All right. So it's funny. I did an intro to the podcast tonight, to the podcast description. And I used ChatGPT. So I said, "Hey, I need you to reword this for me." I can't, and I got rid of it.
It's disappeared.
Yeah,
It should be in your. If you did ChatGPT, go to ChatGPT. Look on the left-hand side. There should be something there that probably has.
But I'm not logged in. Is the thing.
Oh well, then you suck. I'm sorry.
I have not. Yeah, I stay logged out. I don't want ChatGPT to try to find me.
Shit.
So yeah, no, it's gone. And it's gone.
Oh, right. Then.
But I threw in the ChatGPT. It was like, write me a podcast description based on it. So let's talk about that. What is on trial? Let me go back a step. So Sean and I used to do a podcast called Long Road to Ruin. You remember the Long Road to Ruin, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were a fan of the Metal Hammer of Doom first, and then, but I was doing Long Road to Ruin and Metal Hammer of Doom at the same time. I was alternating weeks way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And Sean and I think, had good rhythm for the most part. But Sean was very verbose. And occasionally Sean would kind of go a little TED talky. he would go on and on. And I was trying to make it a little bit more conversational and not so much me having signed up for a TED talk that I didn't want to be in. And I would try to like cut him off and, engage with him a little bit more. And I think one episode, this was a couple years into it. Sean was not in the world's best headspace, but it was one of those moments where it nearly broke the podcast up because like he's being Sean and I stepped in and he was like, well, if you would let me finish, I would have gotten there.
Ooh.
Snapped at me.
Oh boy.
And I think we took a break for a while after doing that. And then he had some like personal issues that were happening. And so we just weren't doing Long Road to Ruin for a little bit. And I started dabbling with this idea of going back to my old like Crap Defender podcast or Crap Defender blog that I was doing.
Oh, you had a blog called Crap Defender?
Kind of. I was writing for 411mania.com and I briefly wrote in the movie and TV section, and I had a column where I was like the shit defender.
Okay.
So I would pick like a really bad movie and I would want to tell you, like, I would defend it. I would come to its defense.
Right.
And I was thinking about like old episodes of Long Road to Ruin where we would start off really, really good. 3 movies and we would start off hot with the first one. And then we would, a little more effort into the second. And by the time we got to the third movie, we were like running out of time, running out of gas. We never really gave it the attention that it deserved. So I was like, what if we went back to that format of like, let's just take a really shitty movie and I'll defend it. That's what I'll do. I'll spend the podcast like, looking into like, what are the good points about this movie? So I had a short list of shit in my head, Jesse. I had Superman Returns, X-Men 3, The Last Stand. There was a bunch that I was like, there's a whole bunch of these that I want to do where I want to come to their defense.
Sure.
And around that time, and I was thinking about doing it solo. I was going to try my first ever solo podcast. And I went to, and then Sean contacted me. He was like, "Hey, I'm doing better now." It's like an addict. Like, "Hi, I'm doing good now." "Oh, are you?" And he was like, "You want to try podcasting again?" And I was like, and I think we had both by that point kind of burnt out on Long Road to Ruin. Mm-hmm. It was a lot. It's a lot of movies to watch all at once. We hadn't quite gotten the timing down that we have today about kind of like getting to the point. So we needed a break from that, but he wanted to go back to podcasting. We're like, well, like, what are we going to talk about? What's good for both of us? And I proposed the Shit Defender podcast to him, and we kind of batted that idea around a little bit. And he was like, what if we took that same concept, but one of us like prosecuted it and one of us defended it? Mm-hmm. Like it's a trial. And he was the one that threw out there, we'll have like a Lincoln Douglas debate style podcast. And I was like, that's great, because then you can talk all you want and I can't interrupt you. So he was happy. So like so I would talk, and then he would talk, and then one of us would kind of have last licks, and then we'd be out of the podcast, and that's how On Trial was born.
Okay, yeah, I've listened to quite a few.
You've been on one or two.
I have, as a matter of fact, although I don't remember which ones. I know I wanted to participate in a Back to the Future 2, and I don't think I
No,
did.
Jesse, that's a monumental one. That's the first ever video podcast we ever did.
Okay, all right then. All right.
When we went to video, the very first StreamYard we ever did, like not test run I did with my son.
Yeah.
Like the very first official Radulich and Broadcasting Network podcast was On Trial, Back to the Future 2.
Was that wasn't me, was it?
That was you, baby.
I was damn, wow.
Yeah.
Now how much
you're a part of fucking history, baby.
So
that you don't remember because you don't care.
No, here's the thing. I'm getting it confused. I'm getting it confused with Long Road to Ruin, which you and Winfrey were then took part 3 to the woodshed, apparently. Part 2 didn't exactly survive your guys' criticism either, if I remember
part
correctly.
2 is where you wanted to like drop your fucking headphones and come to my house and beat the shit out of me is what happened. Here's that story. Yeah, during one of Sean's hiatuses, there was always a hiatus going on Long Road to Ruin. Everyone likes to talk about like if I would go have a kid or go on a cruise, like him and Winfrey would go do horror. He forgets the amount that he sat at on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where I had like Sam or Cotty come in, or me and Winfrey would do stuff, and then you and me did Gremlins, if you'll remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So one of the ones that he missed out on was me and Winfrey doing Back to the Future, and I said Back to the Future 2 sucked. Here's why. And that's when you would listen in on Blog Talk Radio and you would participate in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like losing your fucking mind over it.
Couldn't believe it.
So when Sean was like, we're going to video now, do video. Put your pretty face on camera. And I went to you first. I'm like, hey, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Help me. So we ended up doing the Back to the Future 2 On Trial. And that was our first podcast.
I hope I defended it rather well.
It's a long show, and you and I are good friends, but we definitely had a heated debate about it. And you go back and listen to it, you lose your patience with me a couple of times. Like you're still Jesse about the whole thing. You're still, nice guy Jesse.
Okay.
But you're definitely like, there's no talking to him. He's a fucking asshole.
Well, draw a line. All right. Well, not going to move forward. That's fine. We'll leave it as it is. Oh, well, so we, as far as On Trial goes, any idea how many shows you got under your belt on Trial?
I could tell you. I could just look at Spreaker and count them up for you.
Pull it up because the show's been going on for at least
since 2017.
Right before I moved here, because I remember doing the intro in the basement of my old house. So that would have been probably 2016, 2017.
Oh yeah, let's go through some. Let's talk some history.
I love it. That's what this is for, man.
Okay. So in no particular order. First of all, you want me to count all these because it's a lot.
Do your best.
A lot of fucking shows here. Good God. Let's see. We have On Trial for Tron for Video Game Week, and I remember why we did that. We did that because we were reviewing Ready Player One.
Oh wow.
We did an On Trial for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. And I remember that because, okay, so you got to remember, a lot of these On Trials were because we were like synergizing with something.
Synergization.
So a lot of these were reflective of something else that was happening that week. That was the week we did whatever the Robin Hood movie where they were using bow and arrows as machine guns. So we did whatever the new Robin Hood movie was that week on Damn You Hollywood, and this was the one that synergized with that. We did an On Trial for Spider-Man 3. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
That was July of 2019. These are not in order, by the way.
Not in like chronological order.
Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, no, these are not in order at all. Now that I think about it, some of these were on Blog Talk Radio.
Oh well,
Like
yeah, I guess
I
you're
didn't
probably right. Before we
I
made the
didn't
move.
realize we had started the show back then because I thought this was just straight like the Spreaker years. But if I remember correctly, I had to actually when I started moving stuff over and I got my Blog Talk Radio account running again, so that I could put up the old shows. I remember like there was some on trials that hadn't made it on to W2M for whatever the reasons were. Hang on one second.
Take your time.
Let's see here. On
Are you logging into Blog Talk Radio?
I am. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, so there was Big Trouble in Little China was the very first one of these.
Wow.
Yeah, but from January 12th of 2017, the very first one we did was On Trial, Big Trouble in Little China. That's what kicked this. That was the very first one. I remember that episode. I remember talking about that with Sean. I actually made handwritten notes about it.
Oh, look out. Notes.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that is like a dude. That was probably one of the very few times that you've made notes about a podcast.
Yeah, I used to take this shit real seriously. Like I would watch these, and I would depending on if I was prosecuting or defending, and I would like make notes on my phone on like the notes app. You know what were some of the points that I wanted to bring up in. Usually, I was defending in my defense, or actually, and I prosecuted this. That's right, I prosecuted Big Trouble in Little China. I had to pick this movie apart. This beloved movie from my childhood.
Very, very, very cult classic.
Yeah. So again, in the beginning, we weren't necessarily synergizing with anything on the schedule, and it was just, what do you want to talk about? Because I was really trying to keep Sean motivated and make him a part of the decision-making process. So in the beginning, I was like, just what are some of the ones you want to talk about? And I think he picked Big Trouble in Little China. The next one we did was January 26th of 2017. It was Inception. Okay, so I had never seen Inception before this.
Never seen it. Oh boy,
No.
What a head trip. What a head trip.
And that was the thing. Like, I remember my ex-brother-in-law kept telling me, like, you got to watch Inception. You got to watch Inception. I'm like, leave me alone. I don't like you or anything about you. No, and he was like, no, you must watch Inception. It's a wonderful movie. Christopher Nolan is amazing. And I'm like, it seems terrible. So I remember I pitched it to Sean. I'm like, everyone keeps telling me I need to watch Inception. Like, let's just do an on trial on it. Let's see how it goes. And yeah, I definitely had some very concerted opinions about it.
Oh boy.
February 16th of 2017 was Resident Evil. Sean had to have picked that.
Okay, I was going to say these are movies that I just can't. Resident Evil, I definitely can't see you picking that one.
No, I know I'd seen it before. I'd seen it before that, but I feel like that was one Sean picked, and I don't remember the reason why. I know it was like a passion project for him. Okay, so this next one I picked, and it's one of my favorite. First of all, this is one of my favorite podcasts we've ever done.
Oh boy.
Okay, it's one of my favorite podcasts we've ever done. It's one of my favorite defenses I've ever used. On trial became an opportunity for me to be really comedic and really silly. And depending on the movie, sometimes I had to bring out some really creative ways of defending it because they were like indefensible. And that movie is Catwoman.
Oh yes, I do recall this one. I remember you definitely were like trying your best to justify this movie's existence.
Yeah. I think my defense of Catwoman was basically, if you don't think about it as a Batman, as a Batman adjacent movie, and you just take it on its face value for the camp and silliness that it is, it's actually a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem is if you try to like it's a Batman adjacent movie, then the whole thing just falls apart. But as like an over-the-top silly movie about a woman who gets bitten by cats and comes back to life and goes on a revenge thing, and she's like an actual cat, and she's like actual like part cat now, like it's actually kind of fun. It's hilarious. That whole podcast like always makes me smile when I think about it.
Good stuff.
Okay, so here is where we starting to do some synergy, because I remember why we picked this. Oh, Jesse, do you remember when we first because now we're into content sharing with W2M.
Okay.
And do you remember what we kicked things off with?
Ooh.
Our relationship with W2M, which goes to this day.
I do. Well, no, you're going to have to remind me. Help me out.
It was Wolverine week.
Was it really? I just shared something yesterday from Wolverine week when we did Entombed, and I was part of that, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Yeah, because Logan had come out in theater, so that was what was on Damn You Hollywood. I believe we did the Old Man Logan book on source material, and then we needed something because I'm ridiculous. I had to do something for the Metal Hammer of Doom, so we did Wolverine Blues by Entombed.
Yep.
And then the fourth show that we did was an on trial for X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh boy.
Which I've been talking about a lot because of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right. Good stuff. Yeah, that was probably, there's a few times in, my podcasting career, all 10 years of it now, where I got really creative, and it was that Entombed show where I was like, I'm going to take every song, and I've read this Facebook post yesterday because I was going through some stuff that Facebook had posted, and I was like, man, I really want to know what I put on that Wolverine one. Anyway, Marvel didn't want associated with, or excuse me, let's try it again. Entombed did not want associated with the Marvel character in any way. Marvel didn't care because Marvel was actually somehow in cahoots with either the manager or somebody to promote that thing. So I was like, oh, okay, they didn't want to be associated with it. Well, I'm going to take every single song that they did, and I'm going to match it up with one of some kind of story arc that Wolverine went through. And I did it. I
had no idea between this show and the show you did on Time to Eat how passive aggressive you are. I've known you for like 10 years. I'm just now realizing how passive aggressive you are. That's hilarious.
Oh boy.
Jesse's very French. Like, sure. Oh, you don't like it? I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna have a sandwich.
And you are going to see me do it. Here we go.
That's fucking hilarious. All right, so that was X-Men Orange Wolverine. And then here was another one where I was just like, Sean, what do you want to do this week? And it was so funny because I really remember, like, I gave him some options, and then it was like, would you like to do red or blue? And he was like, I would like to do shoes. I'm like, ugh, okay. So he picked Zach and Miri Make a Porno. Okay. All right. I don't fucking know why. This isn't related to anything. It was a fun show. I enjoyed doing the review. And I don't think... I may have seen Zach and Miri Make a Porno when it came out, and then promptly never thought about it again. Right. But I definitely remember, like, this was an oddball pick of his. Do you remember Car Week? Because one of the Fast and the Furious movies came out. Oh boy, is this so? Source material was probably Wacky Races or something. Like that. It was Wacky Races. What the hell would On Trial have been? Dude, Where's My Car? Oh boy. Oh my god. That was another Sean pick. I was like, Sean, we have to do something car related because it's Car Week. Because we did Zombie Motors Wrecking Yard on. I remember that. I remember that. Yep. We did whatever Fast and the Furious movie came out in 2017. And then he picked Dude, Where's My Car? That was a fun review. Superman Returns, that was high on my list of things to do. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's July 15th of 2017. I don't remember why, other than The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the movie that got Damn You Hollywood going. Because me and Pat had gotten into a fight about it. And we're like, let's just do it live on the podcast. And we had Robert moderate a debate between us. And then, Damn You Hollywood was born. Mm-hmm. July 20th, 2017. I believe this was a synergy with whatever Planet of the Apes movie was out at the time. This is the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes from 2001. And I remember that one. Yeah, that was a fun show. We had a good time tearing that apart. He picked The Italian Job. It's a good movie. I don't remember how good or bad the podcast was, but I remember watching the movie when I was in the hospital because this is around the time that I had gotten cancer the first time. Oh, geez, well, this whole year I had cancer, but I remember I had gotten neutropenic is what happened. And I went to the hospital for observation and I watched The Italian Job in my hospital bed.
Crazy.
The memories.
Gosh.
We had an on trial for Daredevil 2003, and I feel like back in 2017, this is because of the Daredevil show.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so here's one that I picked, but because I had gotten in my head this idea of what's the worst movie on Rotten Tomatoes? Like, what's a 0?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to defend a 0. because we here at the law offices of Radulich. We'll defend any horse shit. And so I was doing some research and I was digging into Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, what's a 0? What movie has a 0 tomato score? And so we did an on trial for Ballistic X versus Sever.
Yes. I remember that.
What a quality review that was.
Oh boy. Man.
All right. We did an on trial for Blade Runner. I don't think this is an actual on trial though. I think this is one where Sean didn't make it to the podcast and I'd watched it, so I just talked about it myself for an hour and then that was that.
Okay.
Sean picked this one. This is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting one because Halloween 3 is an interesting movie.
Yep.
This one, November 9th of 2017, I believe this is when Ragnarok came out because we did Thor: The Dark World. Which of the Marvel movies, you know, if there's ever a Marvel movie that needed an on trial, it was probably this one. We did one for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, and it's so funny because this is not the first time we've done that. We did. It's interesting because like, there's not a lot of repeats because I refuse to do repeats on the network. But like we did a Damn You Hollywood for Batman versus Superman. Why Sean and I decided to do an on trial for it, I'll never know.
What was the one that you did with Gavin?
Oh, that was Man of Steel.
Okay, Man of Steel. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that was two different podcasts. Yeah, it was an early predecessor to the whole on trial format.
Yeah.
God, we've been doing this so long. We have so many stories. All right. Whatever the Star Wars movie came out, I believe it was The Last Jedi, was in 2017. This is the on trial for that. This is The Empire Strikes Back. And I specifically wanted to take the hardest movie to prosecute.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a difficult one.
Yeah.
For sure.
The new Jumanji movie had come out, so we did an on trial for the old one. That was the 1995 Jumanji. That was December 29th, 2017. And then 2018, and this is about the end of the Blog Talk Radio run here. We did an on trial for 300, and that's because we did the comic on because I felt like doing it. Yeah, we did the comic on source material. We did the on trial for the comic, the on trial for the movie, just because I felt like doing it. Remember those days?
I do remember.
We just feel like doing shit.
Just felt like it. Let's go ahead and do it. Do it.
This next one Sean picked, and I believe he picked it for the reasons I pick some of these. Sometimes you just want to see like what the other person's going to come up with for an argument. So he picked The Godfather Part 3. He picked Training Day. Training Day was a monumental podcast. Do you remember why?
Do not remember.
Because that's the podcast where I use the argument Denzel Washington takes his dick out and smashes it into the scenery.
And it works.
Yeah. Some other fun ones here. I talked about Tron, Robin Hood, Spider-Man 3. We did the 1974 Death Wish when the new Bruce Willis one came out.
That's right.
We did an on trial from Dusk Till Dawn in October 27th of 2019. And I think that was because that's when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out. So I was just looking for something. No, sorry. I take that back. We just did it just to do it. From Dusk Till Dawn. So some of these are just like movies we just felt like talking about. We did an on trial for the original 1978 Halloween, and that was in 2021. And I'm pretty sure that's because of either the new Halloween had come out that year or it was Halloween Kills. One of the two.
I'm sure. Yeah.
We did one for the Glenn Close 101 Dalmatians, and I know that one was because of Cruella. We did a on trial for the Karate Kid with Jackie Chan from 2010.
Oh boy.
For no reason I could tell you. Okay, so here's an on trial that's really special to me.
Okay.
I had Whitney Seibold of Critically Acclaimed come on and co-host that one with me.
I remember. I was just thinking about those guys in the podcast that you did with them. I remember actually walking around the track while my son was doing basketball practice, listening to that episode because it was so monumental to bring him on too. You know,
right.
One of the guys from the Critically Acclaimed podcast. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. I had Whitney Seibold come on because he had been talking Mandy incessantly, and I'm like, do you just want to come on and talk about this? And it was a difficult podcast to do because, like, I'm thinking I can get Whitney for the whole hour and we're really gonna dig into it, and he's just like, it's just a movie and it's great, and then like leaves it at that. I'm like,
oh wow, geez, wow.
My God.
Doesn't he do like a podcast or something?
Yeah, I'm like, do you not talk on your own podcast? So now we're getting into on trials where I completely dropped having Sean on. I would just have on whoever. Right. So I had Dave on for Top Gun when Top Gun Maverick came out. I had Pat on for They Live, which had been one me and him had been kicking around for a while. Like, we had been wanting to talk about They Live, and I think I did it on the anniversary of the movie.
I can tell who's defending and who's prosecuting just by who you're telling me is on the podcast with you. I mean, I don't think Dave's going into this thing prosecuting Top Gun. I don't think that Pat's going to prosecute They Live in any way.
Yeah, some of these are less a debate and more of it's just a review that we decided to slap the on trial name on. The very first one Dorian was on, and this one he pitched to me was Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
So Pat and I this past year, as a matter of fact, March of this year, we did Josie and the Pussycats, and the reason why that's an on trial because that was supposed to be a triple feature, and we couldn't find the other two movies.
Oh,
and
boy.
We didn't want to not do it, so we did it as an on trial, and there's no debate here. We just gush over this movie. We both basically defended it.
What is our looking at it there? Can you see what the most listened to on trial is?
I would have to look at statistics.
I gotta push a button.
Let's see here. I'm
curious if it's one that's like far and away above the rest of them for some reason.
So I can only go as far back as August 1st of 2022. But if I do that, all right, so looking back at 3 years worth of data, the first on trial that I can find there's the most listens is okay. So this technically isn't really an on trial, but I had to like relabel some certain things when I started moving stuff from like I had stuff that was like only before I officially came over to W2M, we were just doing content sharing. Eric would take my shows off my original Spreaker feed, and then he would move it over. And some stuff wasn't labeled correctly, essentially. So there was a TV party / Damn You Hollywood / whatever the fuck for Zombie Tidal Wave. And then when I moved it over and relabeled it, I relabeled it as an on trial. That actually has the most listens.
Does it really? That's a Teasley one, isn't it?
That's a Teasley one. Yeah,
that's what I thought. That's great.
Right. Let's find an actual on trial though.
He'll if he hears this podcast, he will mention Zombie Tidal Wave at least 5 times within the next month. Because it is the most listened to on trial ever.
Yeah, he's like a combination of Beetlejuice and Joe Hendry. Anyway, okay, so officially the most listened to on trial we've ever done is one I did with Andrew.
Okay. And that would have been, hold on, I'm trying to think. Andrew would have probably been on it. Was it for some type of a war movie?
It was some type of a war movie.
Born on the 4th of July.
We've never done that one, but it's on my list of things to do. But good try, though. No, it's 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that's got triple digits.
That's unique, too.
Yeah, that was...
Not like a blockbuster or anything like that.
No, that was one he picked, too. That was one that was that he had a bee in his bonnet for that movie, and he needed to talk about it.
Very interesting.
Yeah, him and I annually do like a show for Veterans Day, and that was one that he picked early on. Okay, so you were asking me about the Gavin one. That in second place is also not an actual on trial. It was two different podcasts that I edited together and reposted, and it was for Man of Steel.
In defense of the Man of Steel. I
That's
remember
right.
I remember that it was you guys, I think, had planned it, and just like you said, you had one person was going to do a podcast criticizing it while the other one did one defending it.
Okay, here's another one that just was relabeled as something that it really wasn't. The Banana Splits movie that Alexis and I reviewed.
Okay. All right.
Let's see here. Sensing a theme with these.
And are these re-airs that have happened and that are getting the most listens, or are these ones are these from original airs?
Well, like I said, there was stuff that was on my original feed that never made it over that I had to dig through my YouTube feed to find.
I got you. Oh man, those days trying to when we were scrambling to make sure we had all content at some point in some way on something.
Yeah, I'm kind of still doing that. All right, so last one here that I'll pull from and we could actually start into the song. On Trial from Dusk Till Dawn has the most listens of everything else that I've done that I haven't already talked about. So Andrew, of all of the stuff that's an actual On Trial, the one I did with Andrew has the most, and then the second most is from Dusk Till Dawn.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah. All right, Jesse.
All right, Mark, you ready to get down to some nitty gritty on some thoughts on songs and lyrics and things of that nature?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Well, okay. So the first thing that I kind of want to throw out to you here today, we're going to obviously still be using Suno. Suno has really hasn't, nothing's changed since I think we last had created a song. So it's not like Suno upgraded to Suno version 4 yet or anything like that. I will say that they can take, and I don't even remember if I mentioned this last time, but if you can think of anything like a beat or something like that, it will take external. We can upload a beat to Suno. Now, you're not sitting over there creating beats or anything like that, so I don't think that's anything we'll do. But if it ever occurs to you, you know, we're 2 or 3 more months down the road, you're like, oh, I like the way this beat sounds. We'll figure out a way to record it. We can upload it, and then Suno will run with it. Okay. But just throwing that out there. The other thing that I was thinking of here is that we can create a song, an instrumental first. Mm-hmm. And then we can figure out a spot in the middle of that instrumental. It could be a 4-minute instrumental it comes up with, but we can figure out a spot in the middle of that instrumental, or 1 minute into it, or 30 seconds into it, and then proceed with our lyrics. So I thought what we could do at first is maybe come up with a sound that you like. What genre are we going with tonight with On Trial?
I want to go down the Wiki Wabbit. I want to go down the wiggity whack hole. That's what I call my girl. Never mind. I want to go down the wiki rabbit hole. I have the Night Court Wikipedia page up.
Okay.
Every episode of Night Court opens after a cold open and closes with a jazz. Listen up, Jesse.
I'm writing it down, actually. Jazz.
A jazz influenced, bass heavy theme tune composed by Jack Elliott, featuring Ernie Watts on saxophone, while featuring video footage of prominent New York City landmarks such as the Brooklyn Bridge and the New York City Courthouse.
Okay.
So at the very least, we need jazzy, bass heavy saxophone. So jazzy, bass heavy, saxophone.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to share my screen and my audio. So that way we can see what we're working on here. As you can see, here's our Radulich and Broadcasting, the album. playlist as it has been created. So let's go ahead and go to create. And I'm going to throw this in here. So if you listen to any of our upcoming alias discussions, when I do the AI reading of the story, because I kind of put that in there, I've been using Suno to create the background music.
Oh, interesting.
Works really well. So okay, we're going to do an instrumental first. So let's just see if we can figure out a sound. And again, we can generate as many songs as you like.
It's gotta swing, baby. It's gotta. I don't want no music that don't swing. Okay, it's gotta swing.
Sure. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's go ahead and make sure we put swinging in there.
I love that swinging is a genre. Not swing. Not like, the Stray Cats. It's gotta swing, baby. And so the genre is swinging.
That's right, baby. All right, so here it is. Jazz influenced bass heavy theme, swinging saxophone.
Yeah, all right. I like it.
All right, let's see what we get. We're going to create an instrumental first. All right, we're generating. And like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and...
Can I tell you how aggravated I was with the first podcast? Because
Why? What happened?
Well, you and I created two different songs. And yeah, one of them we liked more than the other. But I chose the one that I felt was more crowd pleasing, was more general, and I think spoke to more of what the song was about than the one that I particularly liked, that you liked, that Jen liked. And so the feedback I got back from our little group of haters, friends, is like, oh, you should have picked the second one. All right, first of all, it's so much easier to point and criticize than it is to actually create. Let me throw that out there. But can I tell you that I've been playing More Dinosaurs in my office, and all the girlies who don't like the metal love our version of More Dinosaurs. So yeah.
Yeah, I have had More Dinosaurs stuck in my head the past few days as we've been getting closer to this. So it's a catchy tune.
The fucking sad part is I have stuff from Time to Eat stuck in my head. Let me tell Let me tell you how Jen broke out with I'm a little particular about my pot pie recently. Because I was telling her that story, and she's just like, "Yeah, I don't want you touching my pot pie either. I want my crust intact." I'm like, Jesus Christ, y'all fucking. You're the same person.
Yeah. What was it like? I don't know. 3 minutes of me playing No Tomatoes here at the house, and my wife was just like, "I hate you." It's in my head now. It's like, I'm sorry.
Jesse Starcher's writing some catchy music.
No Tomatoes. Right. All right. So we've got 4 songs. I went ahead and generated 4. Our first one, our first set is called Sax and Romance. We can always retitle that.
Oh my.
Let's see what we get here. All right.
Not bad. Not bad. I like the tune. I don't know if it's what I'm looking for, but I like it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's try our second one here. See what we get. Oh my.
Oh.
Right at you. Now, tempo wise, what are you feeling here? You want it slower?
Let me hear it again.
I'll be listening to this shit later today.
Yeah. I have 2 other choices, so I want to hear them. But so far, that's the winner.
Okay, all right. Let's see what we get here. All right, next up.
Okay, so I wanted to make this comment before. I'm not hearing saxophone. That's all trumpet.
Ah, okay, all right. Well, okay. Same thing, pretty much. Trumpet.
Yeah. First of all, A, it's all trumpet. B, this feels.
I mean, it sounds like
it feels like the theme song from The Critic. First of all. I need more saxophone.
Saxophone.
I need more predominant Bill Clinton come on your dress saxophone.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a genre? Is come on your dress saxophone a genre, Jesse?
Oh man. Let's take swinging saxophone, put it in front. And then swinging saxophone, bass heavy theme, jazz influenced. Any other words you could think of that describe kind of what you want?
Throw like, okay, so you know the theme from Night Court. I don't want to play because I don't want to get this. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Oh no, right.
But you know that saxophone. That's kind of, you know, that sleazy saxophone. Do 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 do. You know, when they did it on Family Guy, it made Meg want to take her pants off.
Sleazy
saxophone.
Saxophone. Let's do bass heavy intro. I'm going to bring that up here because that's kind of boom, boom.
Look, the most prominent thing about that Night Court theme. Oh, and we need cowbell.
You want cowbell in this thing?
We need a cowbell. Because you remember. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
All right. Cowbell all one word.
This saxophone needs to get your pants off. This saxophone is kind of, you know, predatory. Okay. That's what I is predatory saxophone a genre?
All right. Bass heavy intro, 80s sleazy alley saxophone.
Yeah.
Jazz influenced cowbell. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see. I'm really curious as to what the heck Suno is going to do here.
Yeah.
So the one that we liked this 2-minute and 10-second one, if I remember right. I'm just going to put it at a thumbs up just in case.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So we got City
Lights. You can get
80 cowbell, 80s sleazy alley saxophone, jazz influence, bass heavy intro. All right, here we go. Let's see what our two bring up here.
Yeah. I mean, I can. This one's getting me out of my pants.
Taking my pants down.
Ooh. I like it.
All right.
It's not bad.
That's not bad. All right, let's see what our second one brings us here. I don't know, man. This was kind of up there too.
Oh no, this is it. That's the one.
hear that bass.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. So I assume.
That's the one.
Okay. All right. So let's just go ahead. Now, what we've got to do. You want some lyrics with this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now this is going to be the hard part. So what we have to do is we've got to figure out where we want our lyrics to start. Obviously, if you want a nice little 30-second intro, we can make the lyrics start at 35 seconds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. Where we're at right now, like what we've listened to is 42 seconds.
Yeah, do me a favor. Go play it from the beginning again so I just kind of get an idea of what it is I'm going to use for the theme.
Yeah.
For the podcast theme.
Gotcha.
Boom.
All right. Okay. So we're looking at 20. I'm just going to write this down here. 27.
About 27 seconds. Yeah. If you
All
hit it right there, I think we got a good theme.
Okay. All right. So 27 seconds.
I'm gonna miss your narration over it though.
I mean, yeah, so am I. We could actually, if Suno will let you actually do talking.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could actually do something like that if that's something that you ever wanted to try. You could put in there just announcer talking, and then say what you want it to say. We could try that real quick if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Out. Okay.
All right.
So
what? Okay, so we got to change the intro though, because it's usually me and whoever the fuck, which I don't need you to say. I don't really starring Mark Radulich and whoever the fuck.
I wonder if I could get Suno to. I'm pretty sure I could.
But if you'll remember,
starring.
Well, I'm trying to remember how you started it.
Welcome to On Trial
from the Radulich Broadcasting Network, starring your favorite podcasters or some stupid shit. We can't. I don't want to put my name in it anymore, and Sean's not always doing it, so I don't want to put him in it either.
Right.
So it's like, welcome to On Trial, where we debate the merits of your favorite movies. Hope you're ready, Hollywood, because you're on trial. That's all we need.
Okay. All right.
All right, what you doing?
I am currently writing out everything that you need me to say.
Okay.
And I want to read it to you here in just a second.
Okay.
Hope you're ready, Hollywood.
Because you're ... on trial.
You on trial.
Can we insert a gavel sound?
Ooh, we could try. I mean, there's no sense in not trying. So we're
because
at beginning or the end? At the end, right? On trial.
Bam, bam. You're on trial. Bop, bop, bop. And
right.
then we're into it.
Right.
Because then the full song is whatever.
This will be interesting to see if this even works. I have no idea. All right, so let me see. Announcer.
Can the announcer be Judge Ito?
Wait, not. Welcome to On Trial, where we debate the merits of your favorite movies.
Yes.
Hope you're ready. I need to put Hollywood.
Hope you're ready, Hollywood, because you're on trial.
Now, this might spectacularly fail. I don't know.
Awesome.
I have a feeling that it will sound like we'll want the announcer to sound. It's the pacing I'm worried about. Like, I don't know how fast it's going to go. So that's the big concern. But
maybe we do it with a lot of ellipses.
Let's try it. Hope you're ready, Hollywood. Bop, bop, bop. Because you're bop, bop, bop on trial. Gavel bang. All right, here it is. You ever get in a gavel bang before?
First of all, if I have to be in one more gavel bang I didn't want to be in.
Throw me in the slammer. All right.
That's what she said.
Oh. All right, so we are going to extend this song. We said about 27 seconds was where we had a pretty good intro. And I think, well, actually, we probably, if we're going to have this in the intro, so you were wanting the 27 seconds that we just listened to be the intro.
That's correct.
All right, let's do this. Let's start the text or whatever 15 seconds in.
Okay.
And just see what we get.
Okay.
Custom, take the instrumental off. We want to put our lyrics in here. Announcer, welcome to On Trial, where we debate the merits of your favorite movies. Hope you're ready, Hollywood, because you're on trial. Gavel bang.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, all right.
Hit it.
Let me see here. Let me just make sure everything's in order. I think we're good.
Okay.
Extend.
Here we go.
Oh, cross your fingers. Don't know what we're going to get. How soon is going to read these lyrics and how it's going to. All right. So as our generated art is of a film canister or a film reel. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Here it is. Cross your fingers.
Welcome to On Trial. Hey, the man with your favorite movies. Are you ready, Hollywood? Because you're on trial.
I love it. That's amazing.
I mean, it's funky as shit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It definitely. I don't know if it got. All right, I don't know if that was what you.
Seemed like it went really quick though.
Yeah, that's the problem. We, spacing it out is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Welcome to On Trial, where we debate the merits of your favorite movies. Hope you're ready, Hollywood, because you're on trial.
And that's going to be the end of the song.
No, fucking wow. Okay, so that second one, just send me as the intro. That's the intro.
Okay, hold on. Let me full song this and let's just see what it sounds like because we did. It's probably like, so that was 18 seconds. We did it at 15 seconds. So that's a total of 33 seconds. Let's hear what this full song sounds like just to see if it's something that we appreciate.
I love that second one. That second one fucking nailed it.
There's probably some like way of.
Well, most of I'm looking at like TV Parties 29 seconds, Sessions is 31 seconds, Whiskey Rebellion's 34, Damn You Hollywood's 43. The History of Boxing is like a whole minute long because I went crazy. The original On Trial is 41 seconds. Triple Feature is 38. So I mean, if we can keep it to between
33 seconds.
Perfect. 33 is perfect.
Let's hear what we got.
Welcome to On Trial, where we debate the merits of your favorite movies. Hope you're ready, Hollywood, because you're on trial.
I love that at the end. Okay, I need that. So I need that as the theme. I need so that's perfect as just the theme.
Okay,
but I want to do like a full extended song now.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. So, all right, now let's go for lyrics here. What we could do is we're just going to extend off of this. This will be the 30-second intro to the song, and then shortly thereafter the lyrics will kick in.
Okay.
All right. So we need to come up with lyrics now. Now here's what I was trying while we were talking earlier. And I mean, unless you already have something that you want to do here as far as lyrics go, but I said I just asked ChatGPT, my girlfriend. I said I want to make a song about a podcast that we're doing. Ask me some questions to help me flesh out some lyrics. And she did. She came up with some questions here. I don't know how well we're going to answer them, but
you're going to ask, and I'm going to answer them superbly.
Oh,
100%.
All right.
I'm going to pass this quiz.
Okay. So I've got my notepad over here. Podcast theme. I already know this one. What is the main theme or focus of your podcast? I just put in here, we take a movie and one person prosecutes it and the other defends it. It's called On Trial. Sound good? You want to add anything to that?
No.
All right. So that's number one. Number two is the host's personalities. How would you describe the personality of the hosts?
Well, I'm amazing and the rest of you are shit. No.
Shit.
Ask me that question again.
Hosts' personalities. How would you describe the personalities of the host? Now we're kind of handicapped by that question because at this time we know that the hosts can vary. So we really, I mean, I don't know if we can even answer that, to be honest.
The answer to that question is the hosts have a passion and a distinct point of view about a particular movie. Because I think back to when I started doing this with people besides Sean, I brought David on for Top Gun because he had a passion for Top Gun. I brought Ronnie on for Twister because he had a passion for that movie. I had, Dorian's the one that pitched me Sleepy Hollow because he had a bee in his bonnet for it. 13 hours. Same thing with Andrew Graham. Like, he had a very distinct opinion about that movie that he needed to talk about.
Right.
So I would say that's part of the defining characteristic of any host that I bring on is that, when we did Green Lantern, that was the one where it was one of the few that I played the judge and I just let Dorian and Mac kind of have at it. And Mac very much was like, this movie gets unfairly criticized and I want to defend it, which is why that's one of the better ones that we've done. It was the first time we'd ever done it. It was the first time Mac was even on a Radulich Broadcasting Network podcast, but it stands out as one of the better ones because Mac was like, no, I'm armed for bear on this. Another one, when Sean and we broke format and we tried something new, we debated two movies. Who should have won the Oscar that year? Should it have been Forrest Gump or The Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And I came in like I was ready to go. Like I could defend Forrest Gump all day long. Sean was very passionate about The Shawshank Redemption, and we had a great conversation about both movies. So I would say that.
Okay. All right. Let me take that out of here real quick. Then our next one is, what's the format of your podcast? Interviews, discussion, reviews. I put fun debates and discussions. You want to add to that?
Lincoln Douglas style debate.
Okay. Lincoln Douglas style debate. Okay. What is that anyway?
Abraham Lincoln.
I know who Abraham Lincoln is, but can you tell me what is the big deal about a Lincoln Douglas style debate?
The way Sean had, because that's Sean's phrase. But the way that we basically do it is one person very vehemently, very enthusiastically prosecutes the movie. The other one, with the same energy and passion, defends it.
Okay. Got you. Are there any recurring segments, catchphrases, or memorable moments that stand out?
I mean, what you want me to go through all the running gags of that show?
I mean, when you usually bring them in, I mean, it's very much a court theme intro, court themed intro,
right? With all the phrases like "all rise," "court is now in session," "the honorable." Different judges I've used over the years, Harry Stone from Night Court, Judge Ito. Sometimes I say Judge Dredd. Sometimes I say Judge Fudge. Whatever I'm in the mood for that week. Occasionally Sean actually picks a famous attorney. Stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, court is now in recess. Whenever I remember to say that, stuff like that. You know, we actually do. I like jokingly like come up with a verdict. I would say in the later years also, I was very much like trying to kind of refine the format a little bit. I would actually dig into what the movie was being accused of in the first place. So like, you know, if the consensus on a movie like X-Men Origins Wolverine, the consensus on the movie is that it's terrible because it mischaracterizes Deadpool. You know, it's been accused of other things. Like whatever like people accuse the movie of, that's what we're going with. As opposed to this movie sucks, this movie is great, you know?
Right. Okay. Give me a second here.
Mm-hmm.
A public accuses it of being bad. Okay. Who is your target audience and how do they engage with your content? Neck beard?
Yeah. Incels. You know, it's so funny. But in the last couple of years, at least on YouTube, I don't necessarily think this is the case on the audio format, but as you can tell, but in like our last on trial, it was in like the 300 views, which for us is a lot. And when I look back at the last couple of years, anytime we've done the on trial thing, it does higher than normal. And I think because people really appreciate the word on old movies. Like not everyone sees the new stuff, especially when it comes out, which is the uphill struggle Daniel Hollywood's always had. But people have seen Twister. They've seen some of these other movies, you know, Josie and the Pussycats and whatnot. And people are attracted to the familiar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people aren't chasing the new; they're chasing what they know. And On Trial gives them that.
Okay. All right. Okay. What are your podcast goals, or what do you hope to achieve with it?
Annoy someone. No.
I'll put it in there.
Perfect. No. I mean, our goal is to make people happy, to get people to listen, to, you know, maybe give an opinion on a movie that people hadn't heard before. Certainly, my fucking defense of Catwoman was one no one had heard before.
Oh, right.
By the way, one of my favorite memories of doing an on trial, and it was during the video years, but because Sean didn't want to be on camera that night, we just did it audio. It was for one of the Halloween movies. It was either like Resurrections or H2O. I don't remember which. Whatever the one with I think it's I can't remember if it's Busta Rhymes or LL Cool J. But it was the one with Busta. It had to have been the one with Busta Rhymes because I started reading his dialogue.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah. I got a good laugh out of that.
What tone do you want the song to have? Humorous, inspiring, or energetic?
I think humorous and energetic.
Okay, and energetic. Any other tones that you want it to have? Okay.
Nope.
Musical style, we already know that's going to be jazz influenced, bass heavy. We'll throw funk in there. I'll throw funk in there. I ain't scared of it.
Yeah, Jesse always likes that funk.
I like the funk.
Jesse wants
the funk.
We
want the funk.
Jesse wants, ain't no we in this shit. Jesse wants the funk. Jesse's all that matters.
That's right, damn it. Okay. Now we've got our answers to our questions here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we can go over here and with ChatGPT, there are these things called GPTs, which I don't know if you've ever heard of them before, but people create things that are kind of like little apps in ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
And one of which I found is the Suno AI V3 lyric creator. 50,000 plus people use this. So
50,000 unstoppable watts.
Oh, that's right, baby. All right. So, okay, let's go ahead and I want to use this. How do I use it? I want conversation starters, capabilities, as you can tell. Oh, start chat. That would probably be a good idea. Let's do that. Okay. All right. Now, I need lyrics for a song about my podcast called On Trial. Here are some specifics about the podcast. And we'll take this, we'll copy what we just answered. And let's just see what in the world it's going to give us.
Now make lobster.
Do it. All right, now. Okay, intro. Court is now in session.
Wait,
All
no,
rise.
hang on.
Okay.
Let me do my part.
Oh.
Blow that up a little bit for me, though.
Oh, okay, I got you. All right, hold on. There you go.
This was so much easier when I was doing it to the tune of MacArthur Park.
That's true. Now you're going to say a bunch of shit that is not going to match up with this song.
No. All right, do I sing that whole thing? When it says intro, that's not a talking intro. That means that I'm supposed to sing that, right?
I don't know.
Or you know what?
Know.
Oh, no, because it does say verse. Okay, so court is now in session. All rise. Gavel hits. The debate ignites.
Okay.
All right. One defends, one attacks. Movies on trial. Facts and stacks. A little bit bigger, please.
Oh wow.
I'm a little old. There we go. Okay. Okay. Take two. One defends, one attacks. Movies on trial, facts and stacks. Passion fuels the fiery clash. Guilty or not, it's a movie bash. Oh, man, it's pretty true. On trial, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Judges real and fiction bound. What are we doing? What's happening here?
Okay.
On trial, the verdict's found.
That can be changed. That probably need changed. Okay, go ahead.
Good cop, bad cop, movie blues. Which side wins, you get to choose. From bad plots to stunning views, we dissect, critique, and muse. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Courtroom drama, movie karma. Gavel slams, it's no melodrama.
All right, then.
On trial, we break it down. Sorry. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Judges real and fiction bound. On trial, the verdict's found.
Break bass solo.
Lincoln Douglas style we go. Arguments high, stakes not low. I don't like that line.
All right, then.
Famous quotes and trivia show. What? How did that get involved in this? We entertain, we steal the show. On trial, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Judges real and fiction bound. On trial, the verdict's found. Tune in, join the debate. Movies on trial, it's never late. With humor and funk, we captivate.
Humor and funk? Oh, boy. Ever took that literally. Okay,
yeah, I did.
Just throw the word funk in there. Okay.
On trial, it's movie fate.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Do you want this to sound or lyrics to resemble something? Because we can throw that in there.
What do you mean?
You mentioned MacArthur Park. You remember how we did that previously? Would you want this to lyrically resemble something that you are that you know?
So again, I can't get away from the Night Court theme, which was an instrumental.
Yeah, there's no lyrics.
There was no lyrics to it. Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of have a beat and a rhythm in my head. Go with it. Okay. Beans and Cornbread.
By
hang on, let me get you the name. It's from the Malcolm X soundtrack. You ever hear it?
I swear that I have heard of this.
I've referenced it a bunch. Beans and Cornbread. I think by Beans and Cornbread had a fight. Louis Jordan.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Beans are cornbread out of sight. Cornbread said, "Now that's all right. Meet me on the corner tomorrow night. I'll be ready. I'll be ready tomorrow night. Beans to cornbread."
Let's see what we get. Probably get a red. Okay, here we go.
Okay. All rise, courts in session.
No, that's the intro.
God damn it. Stop singing the intro. All rise, the court's in session. Listen close. It's time to learn. We got a movie debate and it's about to take a turn. You ain't kidding.
All right.
One defends, the other attacks. Movies on trial, we lay down the facts. With passion and fire, our points will make. Guilty or not, what's at stake? Oh, I love it.
Okay. All right.
On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. I don't know why I have to like.
This has got to go. We got to figure out something for that. But go ahead, keep going.
On trial, the verdict's found. Good cop, bad cop, movies we choose. Which side wins, it's up to you. From bad plots to stunning views, we dissect, critique, and muse. I actually like that line.
Okay.
Courtroom drama, movie karma, gavel slams, ain't no melodrama. I want to get up and dance with this. I'm like, it's funny for two metal guys. This is the second song in a row that's distinctly not metal.
Definitely not metal. Definitely not metal.
Wait. Do I?
No, I mean you can go ahead.
Can I sing? Can I swing?
No.
Can I swing?
You can swing all you want.
On trial, yes, we break it down, debate and discuss. We wear the crown. You know, the more I sing it, the more I kind of like it.
Okay. All right.
Judges real and fiction bound. On trial, the verdict's found.
This right here is stupid. That right there came straight from the fact that I put something in there about fiction. The references and catchphrases of like real and fictional judges.
Yeah.
Like Harry Stone. So it was like, oh no, judges real and fiction bound. I'm like, okay, we don't need that.
What would you replace it with though?
We'll figure that out here in a second.
Okay.
By the way, is this the exact same song? I mean, there's been a couple changes, but I swear to goodness, Lincoln Douglas style. Here we go. Arguments.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the exact same song.
They changed. It's the same lyrics, but they changed up the beat just enough to match with Beans and Cornbread.
You sure you didn't change up the beat?
I mean, who could say? Lincoln Douglas style. Here we go. Arguments high, stakes not low. That just does not roll at all.
All right, duly noted.
Famous quotes, trivia show. No, that trivia show again. That just every time. I don't understand that one.
Quotes trivia show.
We entertain and steal the show. On trial, yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Judge is real and fiction bound. On trial, the verdict's found.
Okay, tune in.
All right, and tune in, join the debate. Movies on trial, don't be late. With humor and funk, we captivate. On trial, it's movie fate. Okay, so I'm mostly okay with the lyrics.
Mostly. Yeah, we need to change it.
Mostly.
Give me a second. We need... Mostly. Let me go to... All right, so... Let me paste this and then drag this over here. Okay. All right. So we definitely want to change judges real and fiction bound on trial, the verdict's found. So what would you want something to rhyme differently with found?
Yeah. So debate, discuss, we wear the crown.
Do you want these two?
Well, hang on. On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. That's where the rhyme scheme is. So they change it slightly to bound and found, which is the name of my name, which is my name on FET.
Bound and found.
All right. Judges real and so on trial, the verdict's found. Yeah, something has to rhyme with found. Like I'm okay with judges real. It's the fiction bound part that's really fucking me up.
Okay. All right. Let me try something here. Can we change this part to something a little better? No, you don't have to do the whole damn thing again. Jeez.
That's fine.
All right. Here are the arguments all
around. Done. That's perfect.
Okay. All right. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
How's the rest of this? They didn't do anything different. Which side's win is up to you. Bad watch the stunning views. We dissect, critique, and muse. Courtroom
Yeah,
drama,
that's
movie
all the
karma.
same.
Okay, we'll wear the crown. Here, the artists all around.
Yeah.
Okay, this right here, famous quotes trivia show.
I
Entertain.
don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Arguments high, stakes not low. Okay, we need to change this. Okay, we need to make this better as well. Don't do the whole damn thing, you stupid dumb. All right, that's fine. All right, take me down to the, what was it, a hook? Fireworks fly. It's quite the how about you don't ask me that question? Debate so hot, the stakes are low? Don't fucking say that. The stakes.
The debate so hot.
The stakes are low. Quotes and trivia we bestow. All right, you motherfucker. All right, so then we entertain with a jazzy glow. Okay, no.
So I've often said that about Sean Comer. He's got a jazzy glow.
Quite the jazzy glow. Fireworks fly. I like fireworks fly. It's quite the show.
That's like half good. Fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debate so hot. I think something that rhymes with low.
Well,
or show rather.
There's plenty of that.
Yeah.
Let's go to rhyme zone. Low. Search. Okay. We got all sorts of rhymes here. We got blow. We've got flow. We already got flow on here. We don't have flow. Flow would probably be a good one. So let me just write that out here. Flow, ho. We're already using glow. Are we using the word no? No, we are not using the word no. So that might work as well. We just have to word something around it.
Bro.
That would stick out like a sore ass thumb. Quo. Status quo. I like status quo, maybe. Row, schmo, throw, toe, whoa,
banjo,
backflow, backhoe, big toe, Bilbo.
Work Bilbo in.
Oh boy, I could tell ChatGPT to work Bilbo in there. That would not. No. All right. How about let's do this.
Crossbow. Chateau.
Debate so okay. Fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debate so hot. Something. The stakes are low. Something. Debate so hot.
The debates are hotter than Frodo.
No.
Debates are hotter than Frodo in a volcano.
If I put that in there.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm putting debates so hotter than Bill. What is it? Frodo in a volcano.
Frodo in a volcano.
There's no fucking way that rhymes,
dude.
I'm putting it in there.
Volcano.
Fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debates hotter than Frodo
in a volcano.
In a volcano. All right.
I've heard worse.
You're going to be so when this verse hits, you're going to be so proud. And that's what's sickening is the fact that we're putting that in there and you're going to be so proud of it every time you hear it. You'll be like, "Oh, I fucking came up with that."
Oh, it's me and Jay-Z.
All right. Okay. Debates hotter than fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debates hotter than Frodo in a volcano.
Yes.
Let's try hot as because fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debates hot as Frodo in a volcano. Quotes and trivia we bestow. So that needs to go away.
That needs to go.
Yeah.
In with Frodo.
Something. I want to use the word no.
Okay.
So quotes.
You know what? Leave it.
Actually, no, we can't leave that. That's stupid.
Okay.
That's
here. hear me out, and maybe we don't leave it, but just I was thinking about the trivia, and I got very stuck on like trivia game shows. But Sean's whole like first thing in on trial was to read like trivia, like history and trivia notes. That does fit thematically.
All right, you just hold on a second here. For this verse, we do not have trivia on this show, nor do we have a jazzy glow.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Let's see what it gets. Fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debates hot as Frodo in a volcano. Insight and stories we bestow. We entertain. Watch our passion grow.
Perfect. It's fine the way it is.
Oh my, that sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and we'll grab this. Actually, let's go back to our lyric generator. And that's not it. It's this one. Okay. All right. So let's copy this. And then we need to put this in here. And we'll take all this crap out of here. Got this. And then we got to grab our new verse, which was this part. Fireworks fly. It's quite the show. Debates hot as Frodo in a volcano. I cannot wait to hear the fucking AI try to make sense of that.
Yo, it's dope right there. Yeah. That's the dope rhyme.
The fuck.
I do think what's fun about this is how illustrative it is of like we're not just highly like wholly dependent on AI. AI is giving us a base to work from, and then we are manipulating it with our own taste and preferences and abilities.
That's exactly what I did with a lot of my songs. You start out with something like this, and then you go through and you curate and try to make it as personal as possible sometimes. Right. So, okay, here's our final version. Let's just make sure everything looks okay. All rise, supports the session. Listen close. It's time to learn. We got a movie debate. It's about to take a turn. One defends, the other attacks. Movies on trial. We lay down the facts with passion and fire. Our points will make. Guilty or not, what's at stake? On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss. We wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial, the verdict's found. Good cop, bad cop movies we choose. Which side wins? It's up to you. From bad plots to stunning views, we dissect, critique, and muse. Courtroom drama, movie karma, gavel slams. Ain't no melodrama. What do you think of that? You want that?
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
On trial, oh yes, we break it down, debate and discuss. We wear the crown, hear the arguments all around. On trial, verdict's found. Break.
All right.
Bass solo. Fireworks fly. Frodo's in a fucking volcano.
I'm so proud of that, by the way.
Insights and stories. All right, debate, discuss. Tune in, join the debate. Movies on trial, don't be late. With humor and funk. How about we do this? With humor and fun, we captivate. On trial. It's a movie's fate.
Though I'm insulted that you don't think we're funky on trial.
Not putting that in there. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we come up with. Heading back to Suno. Okay, so we pretty much left this at a point where I think I could just extend directly off of it. Let me check though. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna extend this from 32 seconds. Where are we at? We're right here. Extend, and we'll take this down to 32 seconds. And our lyrics are now going to be that, and call it On Trial. Now you already have a picture for this song, which is great.
Yep, which you can actually see in our background here.
Love it. Let's extend. What is that? Full song. Okay. All right. Okay. So We're going to get two options here. Again, if they both don't hit you, we can always make another one. And this is going to pick up at 32 seconds. So we're not going to hear the actual intro we just created, but it's going to pick up at 32. So imagine that, where we just end it with ooh, you know, with the ladies singing the ooh, and then we're going to hear this.
All right, the court's in session. Listen close, it's time to learn. We got a movie debate, and it's about to take a turn. One defends, the other attacks. Movies on trial, we lay down the facts. With passion and fire, our points we make. Guess you're not what's at stake. On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with verdicts found. Good cop, bad cop, movies we choose. Which side wins, it's up to you. From bad plots to stunning views, we dissect, critique, and news.
I love it.
Movie come, gavel slam, sing a melodrama. Oh, on trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with verdicts found.
We got a break coming up. Here we go.
Pants just came off.
Fireworks fly, it's quite the show. Debates hottest photo in a volcano.
Yes. Yes.
Watch our passion grow. On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with verdicts.
Oh, damn. Been a while since I've done that to me. That was a 2-minute cutoff. So we'll have, if you like that one, we can finish that one. Just remember it, okay?
Okay.
Court's in session, listen close, it's time to learn. We got a movie debate, and it's about to take a turn. One defends, the other attacks. Movies on trial, we lay down the facts. With passion and fire, our points we make. Guilty or not, what's at stake? On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Beat and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial, the verdicts found.
Dude, the first one for sure. I don't
First one for sure. All right. Yeah, that's usually what happens to me. I'm just like, that's not going there. First one's not it. All right. So let's take a listen here to where we need to adjust. So it was right about.
On trial.
Okay, that was 1:47, and I think we're getting right here.
Oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss.
Okay, let me just double check that one more time.
We break it down.
147. Okay, 146. All right, so 146, we need this. So we need to extend this one. We need to go up here, paste in the lyrics that didn't make it. We need to change this to 46. And we hit create. Then it should give us start a little bit. Hopefully it sounds all right. And then we throw it in the full song and we should be good.
Okay.
We may have to go in here and chop up the outro just a little bit. But let's see what we got.
When we're done, I want to hear the whole thing from soup to nuts.
We will. I'm just I've got to get a couple of these things.
Yeah. Oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss. We wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with verdicts found.
Ooh, a little bit of guitar.
Tune in, join the debate. Movies on trial, don't be late. With humor and fun, we captivate. On trial, it's
I love it. All right, let's
Sure.
hear what this next one sounds like real quick.
On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Break and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial, the verdict's found. Cool, join the debate. Movies on trial, don't delay. With humor and fun, we captivate. On trial, it's a movie's fate.
A bit different there at the end. Which one you like better?
No, the first one.
Okay. All right. So let's get the whole song here.
Yeah, it's merge them.
Merge them. Let's see what we get. On trial, Frodo in a volcano.
Oh, what have I gotten myself into? Jesse's asking.
Jeez.
It's all right.
Great.
I
love it. I love the personal touches. I'm just kidding you. It doesn't bother me at all.
This is how Lennon and McCartney collaborated.
Lennon had a whole thing where he was putting Frodo in a volcano.
McCartney's like, why?
McCartney's
why
like,
would you do this?
I just want to do the Yellow Submarine, man. All right, here we go.
That's the whole thing from Soup to Nuts?
Yep. Soup to Nuts.
Welcome to On Trial, where we debate the merits of your favorite movies. Hope you're ready, Hollywood, because you're on trial. All right, the court's in session. Listen close, it's time to learn. We got a movie debate, and it's about to take a turn. One defends, the other attacks. Movies on trial, we lay down the facts. With passion and fire, our points we make. Cause you're not what's at stake. On trial, oh yes, we break it down. Break and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with the verdict found. Good cop, bad cop, movies we choose. Which side wins, it's up to you. From bad plots to stunning views, we dissect, critique, and news. Courtroom drama, movie comma, gavel slam, sing a melodrama. Oh, on trial, oh yes, we break it down. Break and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with verdict found.
Real 80s feel to this.
Yeah.
Just by there's a.
I feel like we definitely captured the magic of the original.
So, debates how does Frodo in a volcano. Inside the stories, the stuff we get into watch our passion grow. Oh, on trial, oh yes, we break it down. Debate and discuss, we wear the crown. Hear the arguments all around. On trial with verdicts found. Tune in, join the debate. Movies on trial, don't be late. With humor and fun, we captivate. On trial, it's a movie's fate.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
the ending of that too, man. I love
Cut print.
that. All right, beautiful. Let me rename this thing On Trial real quick. And I also am going to add the image to that here in a few. What do you think, Mark?
I think we got it.
We got it. We got it, baby.
It's funny. Jen asked me how long I was going to be tonight. She's like, "Oh, you're recording with Jesse. That's always fun. I'm going to make sure I listen." She's like, "How long is your podcast tonight?" I'm like, "Oh, this will only be an hour. This will be quick. We're almost at 2 hours."
Yeah, we're.
Oh, we got it. We got it. So
We
Frodo went in
did.
the volcano. We're good.
Yes, he definitely went into the volcano.
You're really struggling with that one line.
No, every time that I'm going to hear that, I am going to think of you. And
You're
that
welcome.
isn't a bad thing, Mark. That isn't a bad thing. On trial. Not tricle, trial. We'll add an image to it here later. So let me go ahead and add that to the playlist. Add to playlist. Here it is, our third song. So the next one we are going to be working on. Did you say that you already knew what it was going to be?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to do Damn You Hollywood. And and I'm debating I next episode. I like this like we're redoing a lot of the themes because we're gonna do 2 songs next time. Because I want like a real Damn You Hollywood. Like I want like that Slipknotty, thrashy, fucking angry Damn You Hollywood song. But I don't want to necessarily not have the old traditional hooray for Hollywood. That irony that we have.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
I think we're going to do, again, the same thing where I want like a 30-second, like hooray for Hollywood kind of a thing to start the show with. But like, I want a real like angry Damn You Hollywood song.
Okay. All right. So on the agenda, what you should be trying to, we've got a month, come up with a chorus. Now you can do like I do, which is like I'm thinking of a specific song, which you obviously do a lot of times as well, and mutate that chorus into something that fits the tone and the spirit of what you're wanting to do with Damn You Hollywood, whether it's going to be angry or something along those lines. And if you have what I was working with, some of the songs that I created, the chorus is all I had. And I was like, okay, here's my chorus, ChatGPT, build a song around it. Here's all the stuff that I want sort of in the song, but I want the chorus to be this. And then that really, if you can get across like at least a good chorus, then the song seems to flow around it pretty easy. And plus we can go in there and make changes easier too, because you want it to fit the tone of the song. But anyway, yeah, you got a month, so just try and figure out something that would be a good chorus for the song that you'd want to hear over and over.
Okay. I mean, Damn You Hollywood's a good enough chorus, but I will. I hear what you're saying, and I will put some thought into it.
You'll come up with something. I was sitting there thinking like Booster Gold. When I did Booster Gold, all I had in my head was Booster Gold, Booster Gold. Oh, we love you, Booster Gold. What a fantastic song that became. So anyway, all right. Well, there we go. I'll put the image on here. I'll send you the file. We have done it, folks. We have hit our, I guess, is this going to be our 4th? We count this as our 4th song on this album, the podcast intro, along with More Dinosaurs, Worthless Opinions, and now On Trial has joined the playlist, joined the album.
We I mean, as far as this podcast goes, this is the 2nd fully created song that we've done.
Awesome.
And I'm really loving this format because, again, it's a celebration. It's exactly what I wanted this to be. It's a celebration. It's an opportunity for us to tell the stories of this podcast that has been going on. And maybe people care, maybe they don't. But it's fun for me and my friend who's been with me for almost the entire journey to kind of like reflect on the, almost 20 years I've been doing this.
Right.
And think back, tell the stories like how did we get to where we are now? But it's also we're creating new art, we're creating new songs. There's a lot of old and new happening at the same time. So it's cool.
Right.
I'm really enjoying this. That is our sessions podcast for the evening. Tomorrow, Jesse and I, because Jesse and I just love each other to death and we can't stop recording with each other. So tomorrow we are finishing up Sons of Anarchy, thinking of things that are done now. It took 8 months to do 7 episodes, but we're finally here. We are going to review season 7 of Sons of Anarchy, the final season, and what a season it was.
Whew, man.
Yes, sir. On Thursday, Alexis is doing a TV party for House of the Dragon season 2. I will be over on Movies That Don't Suck and Some That Do, talking M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's Trap. and the new Amy Winehouse movie, which is currently on Peacock, Back to Black. I watched it with my son and my daughter today. My son didn't love it. He was like, this whole movie feels like it takes place over the span of a week. What the hell? Like, he had some very concerted opinions. As for when we are doing the next Sessions podcast, the next Sessions is the 27th of October.
Okay.
We got episode track 3 is what we're calling this. That's how I have these labeled. That is the next time we are doing this. And why is that? Oh, because you and I are doing, because I alternated months in the beginning when I started laying out the schedule. So in September, we're doing the Sons of Anarchy comics.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's why. All right. That's what I got going on. What do you got going on, Jesse?
Oh, well, hey, folks, let's first start off with go over to @Stiznarchy on Suno, and you can follow all of my great songs that I've come up with, along with these ones we just did. So, yes, you can hear
yes,
the time.
indeed, I smell that pizza.
That's perfect. That means you had to have listened to that song recently.
Let me tell you how I fought you on so much of this, and then it was like, this is catchy as fuck. I sing it at work. Maybe not so much that one, but I'm definitely like, there has been a lot of I'm being particular about my pot pie sent at this house.
Oh, well, have you sat down and had any oatmeal since you've listened to the album? Because that will resonate with you. Oatmeal again.
The Sunday morning coming down of cis white men.
Why I do not play that song around my wife. I really think she is offended by it.
I was gonna say she will fucking stab you in the
she is offended. She is offended.
She's gonna give you the juice treatment.
Oh no, I don't need it. Don't need it. All right, yeah. So yeah, @Stiznarchy on Suno, you can check out all those great songs that we've talked about on here already. Tomorrow, myself and Mark Radulich are going to be in your ear holes discussing the second book. I
think Jesse froze. He was starting to say, assuming you can still hear us, we will be talking the second volume of Alias, the Jessica Jones comic. So check that out. Oh, Jesse. Well, I don't know if he's coming back or not. He seems to be permanently frozen. He's about ready to jump out of his chair. So I'm going to call it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for checking out our Sessions podcast. This is Sessions, the Radulich Broadcasting Network, the album recording sessions. Be well, be safe. Where's my outro music? Be well, be safe, and behave.